Now, without wasting so much time, let us move towards our third and the last technical session, topic on animation and effective pedagogy tool by Dr. Bhushan Pimpre sir, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Pharmacognosy, PES Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigri, Pune. I'd like to begin with the introducing Dr. Bhushan Pimpre sir. He earned his B.Pharm and M.Pharm degree in pharmacognosy from Pune University and pursued his PhD from JNTU Hyderabad. He has more than 15 years of extensive academic experience. He has handled many research projects. Also, he has a long list of scholarly publications and international book chapters to his signature. He is an associate editor of International Journal of Pharmacognosy and Chinese Medicine Medwin Publisher USA and reviewer for journal like Taylor and Francis, elsewhere Bentham Science, Austin Publication LLC, New Jersey, USA, academic journals and other major scientific journals. He was also a member of National Advisory Committee, 4th International Conference on Holistic Medicines in 2014. May I kindly request you to Dr. Bhushan Pimpre sir to begin with his talk and address our esteemed audience. Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am. Please make me the host.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are a host now.
Okay, sorry. Just please let me know. Am I audible and is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and respected teachers and friends. Thank you for your attendance to the third and the last session. The topic of my talk will be animation and effective pedagogical tool. Before moving on to the topic, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. P.D. Chaudhary sir, and the program coordinator, Professor Dr. Atul Pathak sir, for providing me an opportunity to present my views about pedagogy at such a wonderful platform. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Friends and respected teachers, over the period of time, we have noticed that the number of slow learners has eventually increased. That means if I talk about the percentage of slow learners in our class, it was previously just 5 years back, it was around 5 to 10%. And now, since every alternate college has taken an intake of 100, the percentage has tremendously increased to 50 or 60% in certain cases, depending upon the geographical location as well. The reason why I've chosen this topic is because of the slow learners. And to add to this problem, the semester pattern has given us very less time to cover our syllabus. So in very less time, we are just trying to wind up the syllabus, which we weren't able to do. We were not doing 5 years back. Now, pace of teaching is increased and the number of slow learners has also increased. Now, this is the major problem. And to deal with this problem or to bridge the gap between these two, I've chosen this topic, that is animation. Now, remember, animation will explain almost all the concepts and to a thorough detail in very short amount of time, and it will be very easily palatable or be easily be grasped even by a slow learner of any ages. We all, friends, we all have graduated with the paper notes, worn out notes of certain of our teachers, or most of our seniors. We have taken Xerox of the seniors and we have read and we have passed or graduated with that. But just have a look at the current 12th standard passing student. These students are well equipped and well acquainted with the online learning platforms like Ubuntu or Baiju. And these learning platforms have made the education more attractive. But as the student migrates from 12th standard to first year B pharmacy, unfortunately in pharmacy, we do not have such animated videos or animations. So naturally, the student loses interest in our subjects. So this is the reason why even we should not up to the extent of Byju's, but to certain extent, we ourselves, with the help of a simple PowerPoint, can make wonderful animations which can easily be grasped by the students. So let's move on with the topic. So that's why animation, why we should go for animation. Friends, you all might have noticed this kind of scenario in your surroundings. The reason is rote learning. Rote learning means outdated methods of teaching pedagogy. Chalk and talk method. I am not blaming chalk and talk because I have learned a lot from it. But have a look at this millennial generation who have born with mobile phone, Android mobile phone, and they are playing PUBGs, and you are forcing them to study with the chalk and talk method, which is very outdated and boring for these guys, so they do lose the interest. Therefore, there is a need to change the pedagogical tool. Next. Famous French illustrator Fred Bernard once said, "A picture is worth 1,000 words. Instead of explaining it in paragraphs, just explain a picture or a comic or an outline. It will help a lot." We will take an example. I will show you with an example. See, this is just a plain text description. In a class of 100 students, if you just read out this description, that a geometric figure with 5 equal sides and 5 angle and color red, hardly 10 to 20 students will be able to get it. And what about the remaining 80 students? Few of them will be able to thinking it, and they might get it at the end of the day. Some may not even get, and most of them will not even bother to think about it. But what if you accompany this text with a graphic description? Now again, I will read out the same sentence. A geometric figure with 5 equal sides and 5 angle and color red. Now this two, the combination of these two will help a lot to the slow learner to gain maximum from your slides. That is the reason why graphic descriptions are very important. Now this is out of our syllabus. We will take another example of this. This is a very wonderful example I got on net, drawn by Dr. Mangala Nishchal. This is about antioxidants. Friends, we have learned loads and loads of papers on antioxidants. We have learned a lot of paragraphs on antioxidants. But if you want to explain, this picture is very, very impressive. See, this is a free radical which is devoid of an electron, and it is trying to snatch away an electron from an healthy atom and trying to disturb it. But if antioxidant is present in its surrounding, this antioxidants, they have an extra electron and they are happy to share the electron with these free radicals. Now, just 3 simple graphics will help even a 6th or 7th standard student to understand what are antioxidant and what is their importance. So this is why we need graphic descriptions and animations to explain the concepts. Friends, in our pharmacy, most of the concepts and theories cannot be filmed, cannot be photographed, such as a tablet resolution. because most of the time it is extra fast or sometimes it is extra slow, and it is you cannot film or photograph at a micro level, because I will just switch off the video because to conserve the bandwidth. This process is at micro level and you cannot photograph it. Same is the case with drug extraction. You cannot extract, you cannot place a camera within a Soxhlet apparatus also. Similarly, certain anatomical, physiological details occurring inside an organ or occurring inside a body. Once you give some tablet or drug, what are the exact changes or hormone receptor interactions occurring inside an organ cannot be filmed. Mechanism of reactions, yes, we have a number of subjects of chemistry, and even in pharmacognosy and pharmacology we have number of mechanisms. This cannot be filmed, cannot be photographed. Also, crystallization process, precipitation, centrifugation, and there are many more which are extra fast, or sometimes they take days to occur. So such concepts cannot be explained properly to the students. Only the fast learners also or certain mediocres will be able to understand it. But what about the slow learners? We have to think about the slow learners, because day by day their number will be increasing. After 5 years or 10 years down the line, you will notice that 90% slow learners are there, and you have to deal with the same syllabus with them, and it will be very difficult for us. Research, certain psychological researchers, they have noticed that animation or certain graphic representations have optimized the learning process. It has also increased the user's performance or the student's performance, and it has motivated the students for learning. And this is just a few of the research articles, and this is the reason why we need animation in our day-to-day pedagogy or day-to-day teaching. Also, friends, there is a wonderful explanation regarding the knowledge retention rate. Knowledge retention rate means in our routine practicals, what we do is we just explain the theory or principle, then we give out the protocol or procedure, and at the end we also give them the reference as to which books should be referred for this. And at the time of Viva, the same students to which we have given theory, procedure, and references are unable to speak something or speak some words on the same experiment what we have taught. The reason is knowledge retention rate. Knowledge retention rate is at the max 30 to 50% if you use these kind of pedagogical tools. But if you accompany this theory, procedure, and reference along with an animation, the knowledge retention rate increases drastically to 65 to 70%. Further, this can also be increased. Studies have revealed that this retention rate can also be increased by showing videos on the same concepts, and lastly, conducting regular periodical assignments in order to boost the retention rate. So if you follow all these 4 practices for a single experiment, I'm sure 90% of the students will be able to recall and represent it very well in their theory or synopsis and Viva. And the reason for this is the data accumulation. By the conventional method, the data is accumulated haphazardly, whereas by this method, the data is stored in a well-structured format so that it can be easily recalled during the time of examination or practical. So this has been proven scientifically. That is the reason why we need to make use of animations or videos and assignments. Now, why particularly 2D animation? Why should we go for 2-dimensional animation? The reason for that is, excuse me, there is no need to have a coding team. That means well-educated coding team. We are not in need of these things. So we can skip. Second, if you just have a look at the sites of IIT and Amrita University, which have developed a very wonderful virtual labs, they have been funded by Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now, remember, if you apply for any funding agency, it takes years to get the sanction. And along with the sanction letter, they provide the guidelines of utilization of funds. Now, these guidelines crumble most of our plans. So we have to utilize the funds according to their guidelines. So most of the time our plans, they fail. There is no need for us to have a sponsor or a funding agency. We can do it on our own laptop or PCs. Second, pharmacist already is loaded with much of work. And again, if you ask him to learn Java, C++ or .NET, it becomes tedious. And these languages are extra intricate and they are volatile. Even if you are able to understand this, after 3 months, if you are not using it, it is totally volatile and it vanishes off. So this is very difficult to remember. Even we are not needing these kind of computer languages. We are also not dependent upon somebody else to draw the structure for us or to explain the concept for us or to animate something for us. There is no need to have a team learning or interdisciplinary, or there is no need for dependency as far as 2D animation on our laptop or PCs are concerned. Remember, friends, I will be showing you the animation based upon Microsoft PowerPoint, which most of us have used. And the version what I am using here is Microsoft PowerPoint 2016. Most of you might be having it, or some of you might be having 2013 or 2008 version. So there is no need to worry. Even in 2008 and 13, you can do most of the animations what I will be explaining here. Now we will directly jump to the crux of this topic, that is basics of animation. How animation can be done. Just have a look at a very simple animation tips. Like I will skip this. Prepare stepwise plan. Go to insert. I will show you this graphically. Just let me know. Am I audible and is the screen visible? Is it in continuum? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are we connected? Right. Thank you. Thanks. Yes. Now these are few shapes what you need to draw from the PowerPoint. Take a PowerPoint slide and just go to the insert tab. Yes, insert tab. In insert tab, you will notice the presence of this, that is shapes. The shapes. Click on the shapes and you can find range of different shapes. You can use these shapes to draw whatever tools you want. See, I have used this particular shape. Okay, this shape is used for drawing test tube. Have a look at this. The shape was this, and I have just stretched it to draw a test tube. Second, this isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles triangle which I have used to draw this capillary kind of thing. And this is the dropper which I have taken from internet, the GIF image, and this is an RBF. Now RBF can also be drawn with the help of this round circle along with to this circle. On top I have drawn this test tube like structure and I have just compressed it. So I have got 4 different figures with me. This hardly takes 1 or 2 minutes at the max. So you can draw these shapes. Now next, to fill certain liquids or fill certain solvents in it. How to fill it? Go to animation tab and again create such or go to insert tab, take such kind of shapes and fit these shapes into those particular glass vessels and go to animation tab and click on this wipe animation. Remember, throughout the presentation we will be using this wipe animation a lot. This particularly, these two glasswares, I have placed the solvent or the liquid outside the glassware in order to help you understand it better. See, this is just wipe animation. Now it has range of effects, horizontal arrow, left, horizontal right, downward arrow. And in this case, we require upward arrow. So the effect should be upward because we will be filling it from bottom to up. So this is just filling effect, filling in effect. Okay. Next, once you have filled in to the capillary or suppose a dropper, next job or the next step is to take the content out of the glassware. Once you are done with filling in, then take the contents out of the glasswares. Now in that case, again go to animation and choose this wipe animation. But remember here, this is red color. Red color in move on to the previous slide again. Have a look at this. Green color. Green color indicates appears means it comes in. And red color indicates it goes off. See, it leaves the glassware. It leaves the glassware by choosing this wipe animation. Now, again, I have drawn a measuring cylinder with the help of same test tube, the shape with which we have drawn the shape test tube. The same shape is there. I have drawn it horizontally or pulled it horizontally. Just a second. I have certain chats here. Okay, fine. So I will just zoom in this. See, this is the shape with which we have drawn the test tube, and I have pulled it horizontally in order to make this kind of a test tube like appearance. And the same kind of material is placed at the bottom. And just have a look at the gray color which is fitted inside, which represents the water or the solvent. Even that is the same shape. The same shape is used thrice, once inside the water, outside cylinder, and the bottom, all the. And now if you apply a wipe animation, it will wipe off. It will go off easily, slowly. Now we'll have a look at certain basic examples of animations as to where we can actually use these animations for explaining few of the concept. Now, since I belong to pharmacognosy, so I have chosen few of the concepts related to pharmacognosy, but you can use the same animations in your domain. We'll go one by one, like in chromatography. As far as chromatography, applications of animation in chromatography is concerned, just TLC spotting. If you want to explain how to spot a TLC plate to a 12th standard or first or second year student, with the help of this animation, it becomes very easy for us. See, the TLC, this is just a simple shape, rectangle I have drawn. And their dimensions. And this is a capillary. This isosceles triangle represents the capillary, and this capillary, when just a second, there is some problem with the connectivity. Just a second. This is how you can explain the dimensions, and the capillary represented with the help of isosceles triangle, and the capillary moves in front to and fro in order to give its content and spot its content on the TLC plate. With the now this will be called as a reference standard. Second, another capillary coming in and spotting its sample. Now this initially we have spotted the reference standard, now our sample. So this is how TLC spotting can be done. Next, how this animation has been affected. See, again, go to animation pane here and then click on the motion paths. You can see here the yellow colored more emphasis effect. In more emphasis effects or in motion path, sorry, in motion path, you will be able to notice this kind of diagonal downward movement. So you can choose this kind of animation to the isosceles triangle and it will move back and forth. So this is how we can, if you want, I will just go back and explain this again to you, because I know it was a bit, there was a technical glitch in between. So this is the spotting of the standard reference standard, then spotting of the sample, so this is how the student can learn a spotting as to where exactly the spot should be, at what centimeter above the TLC plate should it be, and how it should be spotted, etc. This can be done with the help of animation and with the motion path, diagonal downward motion path. Okay. If you want, you can get the video from the organizers. They will be providing it to you, or they will be loading it on the YouTube, or even you can make a screenshot if you are interested. Next, about TLC development. Now, once we have spotted the sample on the TLC, how to develop the TLC? Now, this is this again rectangular shape represents a TLC chamber, and within this TLC chamber we have loaded it with solvent system and then placed the same TLC plate. You just need to copy paste it. Now, TLC plate with the spotted samples and reference standard. And now, with the help of just wipe animation, you can elude the sample. Just have a look at this. The gray colored background represents the solvent and the brown color indicates the spots. The gray color moves up to the solvent front. Now you can explain to the students that this is the solvent front. You need to run the TLC plate up to this distance. And these are the various different spots. And you can ask the students to compare whether the spots have the same RF value. Even in the same TLC, you can even explain what is RF value, how to calculate it, how to count the distance right from the center of the spot and up to the solvent front or whatever it is. Then how this was affected. See, have a look at this ribbon. Wipe animation. I will be showing you this animation again. Just have a look at the animation. What I have chosen initially was wipe animation to the gray colored solvent which was raising up, as well as the brown colored spot which were raising up. Both had been affected with wipe animation and effect upwards. Okay. After that, just click on this add animation. Okay. Add animation means if you want to add one more animation to the same object, then you need to click on this add animation. In case of add here, once the gray colored solvent has raised up to a certain level, we have disappeared it. We have that means we have represented that the solvent being volatile, it has evaporated. So for that purpose, sorry, let me know if you have any doubt. I think we will be taking the questions at the end of the session because we already are running short of time. Okay, so animation, after clicking on this add animation, click on the animation again and now go into the disappear section. Disappear section here and click on disappear. Click on this disappear so that your rectangles and whatever columns you have drawn which were raised will vanish off. I will again show you the same animation so that the things will be a lot more clearer to you. See, the gray color is moving up and wipe up, add animation, disappear, wipe up, add animation, disappear. This 2 to 3 times and this is done. There is no need to apply extra rocket science or any brain to this. Just copy paste, and the things are done. Next, once you have already developed the TLC plate, now what to do? Visualization. How to observe this? Either in a visible light, then UV 256 and UV 365. How the spots vary, how their color vary, how certain spots are present or can be seen in visible but are absent in 256 and again reappear in 365. This can be explained. Now just have a look at the time required for explanation of TLC spotting, time required for explanation of TLC development and TLC visualization. It hardly takes 3 to 4 minutes to explain to the student right from the beginning of spotting to visualization. So this is the power of animation. Within a very short period of time, you will be able to explain it to the students. And even the students will be feeling very happy to learn such kind of short concepts, because this is a millennial generation and they don't spare more time in lectures and practicals. Just have a look at applications in microscopy. Microscopy of an ephedra section. Normally we take sections in this way. Now I have taken this blade. The image is taken from Google and the image is placed here and just moved up and down. Also, there is another method of taking section, which is wherein the stem is held vertically and then the blade is moved. Now remember, in the earlier case, the blade was in this shape, and in the later one the blade has been tilted. Now this tilted effect is given with the help of yes, you have to use the same diagonal downward motion for both the section cutting. Along with that, if you want to tilt the blade, use picture effect, and in this you can go to format tab. In format tab you will notice picture effect and go to 3D rotation and choose whichever shape or whichever 3D rotation you want. In this case, in this particular vertical section, I have chosen this kind of shape or 3D rotation in order to make the blade more horizontal. So it gives a realistic feel. Again, excuse me. If you want to explain a complicated concept or sometimes map, in that case, this particular animation called as pulse animation is blink animation is very, very handy and more effective. If you want to concentrate all the students' attention toward a particular part of the section, then this kind of animation is very, very important or useful. You can choose in the shapes. The same arrow can be copy pasted and it can be placed over here. Now go to format tab and change the shape to the arrow. Already we have applied the animation. Now just change the shape to oval so that you can get this kind of shape, and the animations are already being affected here. Again, an arrow, oval shape. You can change whatever shapes you want, and you can force the students to focus at a particular point in the diagram. So this is called as blink animation. Now, how this is affected is, first you need to take an arrow, draw an arrow, and give first animation as appear. This is click on the animation, click appear. Now next part is click on add animation, because first the arrow will appear, then it will blink, and then it will disappear. Therefore, there will be 3 animations in tandem. So first appear, then click on add animation. After clicking on add animation, you click on this more emphasis. More emphasis will show you different range of options, wherein we need to choose this blink option. Exciting, blink option. Now click on OK. So this is our second. Now this will blink, and after blinking, after explaining that particular concept, you don't want that blinking arrow to be there. You want it to disappear. Therefore, click again on add animation and click on disappear. I will repeat this again. First, take draw an arrow, and to this make appear animation. Then click on more emphasis, click on add animation and add more, click on more emphasis and then go for blink. Okay? Then click on OK, and we need to add one more animation, that is disappearance. So click again on add animation and then go for disappear. So 3 animations will give this kind of effect. We will just have a look at it again. See, it is not there. Now it has appeared and it has started blinking, and again on a click it will disappear. So this is how you can explain to the students a particular. Now, what if you don't have an image? You can draw an image, you can create an image with the help of all the shapes what you have. And I am sure most of the shapes are there in Microsoft PowerPoint of any version, 2003, 8, 16, 12, 16 or 13, any version, all the shapes are available. So here I have taken this oval. In microscopy, normally we have all the circles. So here also I have drawn the circles and I have drawn certain different shapes and I have grouped them. I have made various different groups, like the group of this upper one, that is the yellow line, group of this large ovals, orange ovals, group of small ovals, group of this yellow, group of this kind of mesh-like appearance. Everything has been grouped separately. All together should not be grouped. Now, I will tell you about trigger animation. Trigger animation means if you want to explain a particular point in a diagram, so you can list out the labels of that diagram like I have done here. That is a text box indicating epidermis, then cortical parenchyma, oil gland, then vascular bundle, parenchyma and collenchyma. Now see, if you just click on this epidermis, only epidermis will pop out. Only epidermis will zoom in, and rest all the structures will remain same. See, only epidermis is coming out. So if you want to explain to the student where is exactly epidermis, you can click here and the epidermis will zoom in and again go back and get its original position. If you want to show oil glands, click on this, only oil glands will pop out. Then certain vascular bundles. See, these are the vascular bundles. Then parenchyma, this mesh-like appearance, this will zoom in, and zoom out again. So this kind of animation is called as trigger animation. And how this can be effected is once you have finished drawing all the shapes, click on animation, go to grow and shrink. It is already present here, grow and shrink. Click on this. Now, once you click on this grow and shrink, you need to add a command, one more command to it, that only this grow and shrink effect should be there only if I click a particular text box. If I click a particular, one of these text box, if it has been clicked, then and then only it should show the grow and shrink kind of animation. So therefore, once you have applied grow and shrink, the grow in click on this animation pane here, you will find list of animations whatever you have drawn. Now this is the group group number so and so, which is to which we have applied grow and shrink animation. Right click on it and click on the effect options. Once you click on the effect options, a window will appear which says here you have two options, effect and timing. We are interested in timing, so just timing whatever you want, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or whatever, you can do this and keep this on click. Only on clicking on a particular label it should pop out, therefore on click. And start effect on the click of which label you want. Suppose in case of epidermis, if you have already drawn certain text box on this slide, this kind of window will show all the text box you have drawn. If you click this drop down arrow, you will notice the presence of oil glands, spheraraphyte, parenchyma, columelix, everything. Now I have clicked on epidermis and OK. Therefore, only clicking on epidermis makes the epidermis pop out. So this is about trigger animation. There is one more application of trigger animation wherein you can change the color of the shape. Whatever shapes you have, you can change the color. Like say, suppose if you want to stain a particular section, you can click on this Sudan red dye, and wherever if you add Sudan red dye, what parts of the TS will get stained? See, these are the parts, those are affected with the help of Sudan red. It gives a different color to this. Now, while choosing the color, remember, while choosing the color, make sure the background should not be white. The background should be black or gray or light gray, because it reflects the color more properly compared to white background, and it focuses the attention, or a student does not have to blink his eyes or squeeze his eyes to have a look at this structure, because he is observing all the structure in his cell phone. Some students are observing at a screen of 3 by 4 inches or so, so it will become very difficult for them to continuously have a look at your video. So always the background should be as dark as possible, or sometimes gray is the best background as. So once you click it, it gives the red color. Again, while choosing the color, make sure you choose brightest color, because most of the students, they are using different grades of screens. There are ranges of screen and their resolutions. So all of them will not be able to see the same shade together. Some might see it as a pink color, some might see it as a red or dark pink or light pink. So it is advisable to use darkest and the brightest color. No matter, you can explain to them that although I have shown here the dark red color, it is pinkish in color. Okay, so you can say this verbally. Second, if you want to click on the fluoroglucinol, just same trigger animation. Now here, I have particularly taken the group of vascular bundle aside. I have disaligned them so as to make them properly visible. Then acetic acid, with the help of acetic acid, certain calcium oxalate crystals are visible. So you can make use of this kind of animations in your domain. Now what I have done in this case is, in the trigger animation, I have chosen appear. Appear means it will show off the red color and disappear. This appear followed by disappear, so that once it will pop out and again it should go off. Once you click on this, it should pop out, or it should show the color, and again on clicking the same pane or same text box, it should go off, so that a particular color will be properly explained. Then application in preliminary phytochemical testing. Now in pharmacy, I have counted it, we have almost more than 140 chemical tests. And for a student of an age of certain around 18 to 20, it is very difficult for him to remember all these tests. He has to perform chemical tests in organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, biochemistry, pharmacognosy, and I don't know where the new syllabi has some more tests in some other subjects. So it is very difficult for him to remember all the tests. So what you can do is, again, draw a test tube and make use of this trigger animation. Draw the 3 text box and click on this text box. Now here, once you click it, a dropper will be filled with sample solution. This disappears, and in the test tube it will reappear, or it will appear. Then click on this alpha naphthol. Again, the same dropper, I have copy pasted the dropper and just changed the color. That's it. Then again, lastly, we have added sample solution, alpha naphthol, and lastly concentrated H2SO4, so that with the precaution, you can add this concentrated H2SO4. It gives violet purple ring. Again, here the color what I have represented should be is bright, and it should be bright so that every screen resolution will be able to make the student understand. carbohydrate present. Now, this is just a simple example of Molish reagent. You can make use of the same slide and just change the text box or change the label of the text box and move away the colors or PPTs in the test tubes, or you can show color in the test tube, that is by appear animation. So you can prepare range of different chemical tests with the help of this. What I've done in this case is I have used this picture, that is the dropper, and the dropper was filled with the trapezoid shape, and the dropper along with the trapezoid shape, dropper means picture 2 and trapezoid shape means the content in the dropper. Both have been affected with motion animation. That is, both will move simultaneously, and then it will the picture trapezoid, the content in the dropper will disappear first. Then the flow chart means the content in the test tube will rise, and then picture 2, that means the dropper will disappear. So the same animation or the same sequence can be copy pasted here to give all the 3 different additions of solvents. See, I know many of you are leaving, so due to some of you are unable to understand, but I am sure most of you will be able to understand it within a week. Applications in extraction. As far as oxalate extraction is concerned, we require various different apparatus like oxalate extractor, Arlene condenser, and all. Now, how they take a detailed stepwise planning, addition of porcelain piece, lacing of the oxalate condenser, then a thimble either of paper or cloth, then place it in this, add solution, solvent to this, Once you add the solvent, add in the Arlene's condenser and apply water, or arrange water. Cool water should always flow through inlet. The inlet should always be at a lower end and outlet at a higher end. Then the heating mantle, just look at the heating mantle. On a click, it should increase heating rate. Again, if you increase the heating rate, boiling will be affected. The solvent will boil and the solvent will migrate from the vapor tube into the condenser. It will condense and fall down here on the thimble. Now what next? Once the solvent enters or touches the extractor or the crude drug, it leaves its phytoconstituents. Now in this case, it is green color. Now the green color will go up to the siphon tube and it will go around. Again, this was the first crop, so it is dark green in color. So just copy paste the same effect, slightly decrease in the shade of the green color. Again, how long should we keep on continuing this extraction? Just keep on decreasing the shades of the green color. Rest all animation is just copy paste of the first one until you get colorless solution. This is just a general statement. This depends upon the phytoconstituents also. So this was just about the oxalate extraction. Remember, we have explained it, the oxalate extraction hardly in 1.5 minutes. Similarly, for hydrodistillation method, we require these many components. Then same, I will just skip at a faster rate. Then the Graham's condenser is attached, water circulation and heating is done. Heating allows the water to move in along with the volatile oil. Both water and volatile oil will go into the Graham's condenser, gets condensed and trickle down into the collector. Depending upon the density, water goes down, and most of the volatile oils being less denser, they get trapped here. So this is how essential oil can be extracted. So this is one of the video. Application in isolation, yes, you can, most of you can make use of this particular slide or this particular animation. Suppose you want to separate out eugenol from clove oil. We use normally aqueous KOH. Now, why aqueous KOH is because this potassium, it has a stronger affinity to eugenol. So potassium and eugenol will form a bond and they give rise to a new kind of a salt, that is potassium eugenate. Now, this is the mechanism of action, mechanism of reaction. which every one of us can make use of. This is potassium eugenate. Now this is the salt. Since it is a salt, it is clearly soluble in aqueous KOH. This potassium eugenate, if it is treated with H2SO4, again the salt, the potassium has more affinity to sulfate ions. So potassium and sulfate will form K2SO4. And the eugenate, which was so far in a salt form, has now been freed and enters in as a eugenol. Now this kind of eugenol, it is unstable. It has low partition coefficient in aqueous solution. So it is unstable, or sometimes it comes or floats on the surface of the aqueous solution. So what we do is normally treat it with or shake it with diethyl ether so that eugenol enters into the diethyl layer. Once eugenol enters into the diethyl ether layer, all the eugenol has entered into the diethyl ether layer. We just air dry it at 40-50 degree. Diethyl ether, being volatile, goes off, and the Petri plate is left with eugenol. So this is the mechanism, or this is the principle of isolation of eugenol. I even have the graphic or the animation of this, but I will not use it right now. Then applications in assays. Most of the assays, like suppose antioxidants assay, nitric oxide assays and all. So we have to take certain test tubes. We have to take these many solvents in a particular sequence. Like if you click again a trigger animation, add 100 ml of 100 microliter of sample, then 3 microliters of sodium, 3 ml of sodium nitroprusside, 3 ml of release reagent, phosphate buffer to this, incubate it. On incubation, it will give out nitric oxide. Now, this nitric oxide will react with the oxygen present in the atmosphere. Now, since oxygen reacts with the nitric oxide, it gives a dark color. But if your test tubes are having antioxidants, like in sample, you can have antioxidant, and even in standard, like routine, you have antioxidants. Now, what is the role of these antioxidants is they kick off the oxygen. So they do not allow the oxygen to react with the nitric oxide. So therefore, these test tubes have low intensity color, and the control has a higher intensity color. Now, what do we understand from that is we just read the absorbance at this particular wavelength. And what are antioxidants doing in this case is they are decreasing the absorbance. So the students, since they have to remember most of the assays, they sometimes the absorbance increases, sometimes it decreases. But if you represent them with this graphical animated format, the antioxidants decrease the absorbance. They are able to remember as far as nitric oxide is concerned. Now again, we'll go to the basics of animation as to how you can make use of this. Or I think we are in very short of time, so I will try to wind up within a few minutes. So with the help of this wipe animation and line motion animation, you can use this drop. Similarly, you can use this. You can draw this, and this is just a paper. Then again, a mechanism of reaction. I will skip this. Now, yes, how to convert your animation into video. Once you have done with the animation, you can convert it into video and you can upload it on YouTube. So how to do this is, as far as 2016 is concerned, click on slideshow and click on record slideshow, record from current slide. Or if you are using 2013 version, you can go to insert tab, go at the extreme right, you'll notice audio icon or sound like icon. Click on the record audio here. You will notice the presence of record audio, and here you can voice over your slides. You can give your voice to the slide. Suppose slide number 4, and you want to say something, hello, 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 and slide number 4 will be attached with that word hello, hello, hello. So if you drag that 4 number slide to 8 number, the voice will also be stuck with it. So along with the slide, the voice will also move. So this is the beauty of 2006. And then while saving, click on save as, and then click on this MPEG4 video, MPEG4 video, and click on save. Now I have done a very short video of the TLC. Sorry. This is a very short video. Hope you all are able to here listen to this.
Solvent system in glass chamber and placed DLC and diluted solvent migrates afterwards, keeps on diluting the spots.
Now next, about converting an animation into GIF. GIF is graphic interchangeable format. You can use this. This is very handy, very flexible. You can choose this and use it at most of your slides. See, suppose about tablet disintegration or dissolution, you can click here, the tablet slowly disappear, changes into the color. As far as pharmacology is concerned, this is a heart. On clicking on the adrenaline, again trigger effect, it beats at a faster rate, and clicking on propranolol, it beats at a slower rate. These are few of the animations. So since we are running short of time, I will just give you a website that is EZGIF. EZGIF is a website wherein you can convert your videos into GIF, but make sure your videos are less than 10 seconds. No doubt they will convert the videos of 1 or 2 minutes also, but generally for GIF we keep the video less than 10 seconds. Okay, so EZGIF is the link wherein you can convert the image. Yes, animations do have certain limitations. That means once you are thorough with the animation skills, you cannot apply everywhere. It is time consuming for beginners. Yes, you will require at least 5 to 6 days for youngsters, and I think for my teachers it will require 10 to 15 days. Sorry for this, but some of my teachers will require 10 to 15 days. Then it is slightly complicated, but it is very less complicated compared to Java, .NET, or any other C++ language also. It requires detailed stepwise planning, right from choosing the porcelain piece, the addition of water, removal of water, heating rate, heating temperature, everything should be in a detailed stepwise manner. But besides that, it has numerous advantages, like it is 100% offline and free. You need not have to access internet for this. Second, ease of storage. Once you are done with the animation, you can store it properly. ATM, anytime modification. Suppose 2 days down the line, if you have a new thought, you can incorporate your new thought on the same slide. So you can modify it hundreds of times. Better for audiovisual preparation. It avoids plagiarism. Today, most of the people are having a tendency of copying certain videos from YouTube. Instead, you can prepare your own videos or own PPTs. Very small file size. The file size will hardly extend up to 30 MB, max to max 30 MB. It can be converted into video and GIF. We have seen it is best for last minute revision, not only for the students but for teachers as well. If you want to go for a lecture after 3 years on the same topic or same subject, you can just have a look at the animations and your knowledge will be better. Environment friendly. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot for your patience listening. And if you want for more animations, you can have a look at my YouTube page, that is Bhushan Pimpre, and you will notice the range of different animations and effects of animations over there. Within a very short time, I tried a lot to focus on the basics of the animation. So if you have any queries, you can ask. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. Now the session is open for discussion and a question. If anybody have any doubts, they can ask to sir. Okay.
No questions?
Thank you, sir, for fascinating and enjoyable session. Hopefully, if we all use this teaching method, we would be able to get the student attention and help them learn more with manageable and less time. We really enjoyed the session a lot, sir. Please kindly accept this virtual bouquet on behalf of convener Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir, Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigri, Pune, and coordinator of STTP, Atul Phatak sir, Professor MCOP Nigri Pune, as a token of appreciation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kindly accept your certificate also.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, once again.